The views and opinions expressed in this program are not necessarily the views of ECTV News, the City of East Chicago, nor this broadcast station or website. ECTV airs public meetings as a service to the community it serves. Speakers at public meetings, broadcast, or posted by ECTV News are solely responsible for their comments. ECTV News reserves the right to edit or remove any profanity or abusive language or behavior deemed inappropriate for our viewing audience. If you have any comments or suggestions about this program, contact ECTV News at 219-391-8206.
Scheduled council meeting for Monday, October 27th, 2014. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Present.
Bethel. Vasquez. Cuevas.
Present.
Orange.
Present.
Maldonado. Arnold.
Present.
Parks.
Present.
Francisco.
Present. Madam Clerk, for the record, Councilwoman Vasquez, Councilwoman Maldonado, and Councilman Battle did call. They do have a prior engagement to attend to.
Okay.
All right, motion to accept the minutes for the public hearing and the regular scheduled meeting on October 13, 2014. So moved. Second. Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilman Santos. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes. Madam Clerk, do you have any communications from the mayor?
No.
Any communications from department heads?
Yes. Payroll warrant 10-10-14.
So moved. Second. Motion was made by Councilman Cuevas, seconded by Councilman Parks, to accept payroll warrant 101014. Have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Accounts payable warrant 102714 LA.
So moved, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilman Santos, seconded by Councilwoman Orange, to accept accounts payable warrant 102714 LA. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Accounts payable warrant 102714 CC.
So moved. Second. Motion was made by Councilman Cuevas, seconded by Councilman Santos, to accept accounts payable warrant 102714 CC. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Francisco.
Yes.
Six.
Have any committee reports? The board reports, I did get a call from some of the board members. They will come in the next meeting to read their reports. Madam Clerk, any ordinances on first reading?
Yes. 14-0029, sponsored Councilwoman Gilda Orange, transfer of appropriations, general fund.
So moved on first and second reading. Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilwoman.
Okay, like the internal
Arnold?
mic is on, and then it's now automatic. The top one's on manual, and the bottom one's
To
on
hear
automatic.
ordinance 14-0029 on second reading. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, Councilman Parks?
Mr. Bennett, can you speak to this?
Okay, all right.
This is a request for an additional appropriation to transfer funds from various departments to the council account, contractual account. We were requested to make that. We agreed to do that. So I think the councilperson was the sponsor of that. And that's what it's all about.
And just to be on record, this is to be used to pay Mr. Sender, correct?
That's correct. Because this year, the financial, we did, was it 6 weeks almost of, we did financial committee 4 hours and it ran over. All of this may not be used, but this was going to be used to pay them because the original amount that we had set aside for them because of the work they did this year was more than what we had originally appropriated.
What is it?
What ordinance is that? I don't see it. The 29, I don't see no 29 on my page.
Does that answer?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos?
Yes.
Cuevas?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Arnold? Yes. Parks?
Yes.
Francisco?
Yes. Madam Clerk, any orders on second reading?
Yes. 14-0026, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, additional appropriation ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Councilwoman Orange, seconded by Councilman Parks, to hear ordinance 14-0026 on second reading. Any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos?
Yes.
Cuevas?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Arnold? Yes. Parks?
Yes.
Francisco?
Yes. Madam Clerk, do we have any ordinances on third reading?
Yes. 14-0024, ordinance or resolution for appropriation and tax rate, Silver City.
So moved. Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilman Cuevas, to hear ordinance 14-0024 on third reading. Have any questions on the motion? Mr. Bennett?
I just want to make a clarification, if I could, to the motion, and that is, just so that we have it clearly in the minutes, that the motion is to approve the tax rates and levies as advertised. If that's part of the minutes, and it clarifies any issues we have with the state. That's the only comment I have. Thank you.
Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 14-0024 on third and final reading.
Santos?
Yes.
Cuevas?
Yes.
Orange?
Yes.
Arnold? Yes. Parks?
Yes.
Francisco?
Yes.
Ordinance 14-0025, ordinance or resolution for appropriation and tax rate, sanitary.
So moved. Second. Motion was made by Councilman Cuevas and seconded by Councilman Santos to hear ordinance 14-0025 on third reading. Do you have any questions on the motion? Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 14-0025 on third and final reading.
Santos?
Yes.
Cuevas?
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Franciscan.
Yes.
Ordinance 14-0028, sponsored Mayor Anthony Copeland, salary ordinance for appointed officers and employees of the city of East Chicago.
So moved. Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilwoman Orange, to hear ordinance 14-0028 on third reading. Any questions on the motion? Mr. Dalton?
Steve Dalton, Seven and Company, your finance advisors. You asked me from your finance committee to review this salary ordinance and make sure that it matched the budget with 3% raises for all salaried and part-time employees, and it does, and it's confirming that we did do so.
Thank you. Councilman Parks?
Just one question for Mr. Bennett. This is before us now. When the police and fire salary ordinance comes up, will that come before us too, or will you do that through the Board of Safety?
I think it will probably go to the Board of Public Safety.
Thanks.
Madam Clerk, roll call to adopt ordinance 14-0028 on third and final reading.
Santos.
Yes.
Cuevas.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Arnold.
Yes.
Parks.
Yes.
Franciscan.
Yes. Do we have any resolutions?
No.
Is there any old business? Is there any new business? Moving on to public expression, you please keep your comments to 3 minutes. First, we have Mr. Clemmy Jones.
Ladies and gentlemen, I only have 2 comments tonight. One of them concerning, I don't know if any of you all shop at a few inches grocery store on Broadway and First Street. Well, they have a little tip box there. People think that the tip is for the employees, but the employer steals part of the tip money. They don't get it all, and that's terrible. Another thing is, I went out to Goshen, Indiana, Wednesday. The same company that's doing the work here in East Chicago, Riley, whatever the first part of it is, I can't pronounce it. But out of Goshen, I saw every employee that was working on doing the same thing they're doing here. Every one of them was white. Not one was Latino, and not one of them was black. Same company. They come here to East Chicago, now they can't find none of us. First they want to say, well, there's no one qualified. Or the one that's qualified, they're on drugs. Can't use that anymore. I can hop on a plane and go from here to Colorado, buy it legally, smoke it, and come back home. Go for a job interview. You gotta hire me because I got a receipt for it. What I did it was legal. Even though we know it stays in your system, it can be detected up to 45 days. So they can't use that anymore. And why? The mayor, no one, I haven't seen that one city councilman or anyone who's planning on running for office out there making sure this ordinance is being taken care of. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Next, we have Ruby Power Flowers.
Mr. President, Council, Madam Clerk, and the good citizens of East Chicago. My name is Ruby Powell Flowers. I live at 4116 Grand Boulevard. In recent months, the Times newspaper featured articles concerning certain cities in Northwest Indiana committing thousands of taxpayer dollars towards the South Shore Commuter Extension. The paper further indicated that some cities declined the 30-year financial commitment, but added, the city of East Chicago has yet to decide. What is there to decide? If the citizens of East Chicago aren't breaking down these chamber doors saying, please invest our money in this project, then that's your answer. A 30-year commitment of our tax dollars would be better spent creating jobs. We need to invite BP Amico and Middle Steel to the table and have them guarantee this city a certain amount of white-collar jobs each year so that our college graduates will come back home instead of moving away to seek good employment. This money could be better spent on the development of a senior citizens bureau. We have an aging population with many issues they're dealing with. If you don't believe me, have your next meeting at the Nicosia building. I'm sure the residents there will provide you with an earful. And finally, that money could be used towards an East Chicago-based college-bound program. We need to offer some financial assistance to our high school graduates desiring to attend college but can't afford it, or unable to get any scholarships. In my opinion, communities like Cherryville, Dyer, and a few others will truly benefit from this South Shore extension. I think those communities benefiting need to come up with the money. After all, I never read where any other city offered to assist East Chicago with any financial support with Klein Avenue extension. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Semi Scott.
Council, I'm here in reference to a sign I came to speak about. This might have been 2-3 years ago for Private Eric Jackson, who was killed in Vietnam. Okay, they at that time said that they was going to put the sign up. Since then, they didn't put up other signs for people that was, killed since I was here at the meeting. And as I see his people, I can say he got 9 brothers and sisters. That's all for Carey Street. There's his sister-in-law there, is back there also. They don't say anything, but you can see that they waiting on that sign, They don't even care, because I asked Mary if she want to come here, and she said no. It just seemed like if a person gave what he gave at such a young age, to ask for a sign down there where he stayed at in the 3800 place, which is, I think his place. But as I was down there the day before I came here, it's 138th that's wrote on the sign that shared it. Okay, I came to complain too about where they did have the sign at, the park that they named after it. But after riding around through there, y'all have did a good job at cleaning that up, so I can't say a lot. It means it's a great improvement did tearing them old houses down. So if I'm coming to complain, I'll also say what y'all did was good. Tearing those buildings and things down. It does look better down there by the park. But Ed never even stepped foot in the area where that park was at. He stayed 2 or 3 blocks down the street where his family would like that sign put up at. That's all I got to say. Oh, one more thing. I'm going to leave here. My next thing, I'm going to go to the DAV. And ask them, is this the way a veteran should be treated? See what they got to say on this. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Rudy Velasco.
I was wondering if I can pass these to you while I talk, to save you a 3-minute time. So I'm going to time limit. My name is Rudy Velasco. I'm work for Everybody Counts North. We're a disability center for independent living. So I'll just make it real quick. Number one, I've dealt with nothing but people with disabilities, and I ask that you change your public comment where people do not have to give their address. I was glad you didn't mention it today, because when you're a senior citizen and you're disabled, you do have to have some kind of fear of what happens when you give your address out. I've been to government meetings, we do not have to give our address just because of that. Someone had said, well, we always did this. Well, you know what, times have changed due to the internet, your address is out there. We need to protect our citizens. The second part I was going to tell you is right now, if you look in your sheet, we're going to be hiring right here in East Chicago, and hopefully whoever applies for these jobs, I'm asking you to ask everybody in your council there. And next part, if you flip it over, is Act Now. One of the things we found as a Center for Independent Living, how do you get to your doctor? How do you get groceries? That was a major issue we found, was transit. So we have a collaboration with North Township, Gary Transit, and East Chicago. If you recall, the last 2 years there's been a fair day that's been sponsored, and we helped sponsor that with them. And we're asking that people attend. The next phase is a public transportation meeting. And we're asking if you can ask anybody that's voting or to come to these meetings right here at Wicker Park, so you have an opportunity to speak about public transit, because it needs to go further, and we do need a regional transit. The last page, I've been approached by several people. I'm not here to offend anybody, but we get our money from the government and from the state. We are not allowed to be politically involved with anyone. So I have to put out this disclaimer out to the city council. We've been trying to let people know that we are not affiliated with anyone. We do not endorse this candidate that's using our name, and we do not endorse the mayor. We have to stay neutral. Our job is just for one thing. Our voice is just for the voices of the disabled. And I wish that you would change this public comment where people do not have to give their address or not be on TV giving their address. If there's any questions, my number's on there. Just let me know. Thank you.
Thank you. That ends the portion of public comment. A motion to adjourn. So moved. Second. Motion was made by Councilman Parks, seconded by Councilman Santos. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Santos?
Yes.
Cuevas?
Yes.
Yes. Arnold? Yes. Parks?
Yes.
Francisco?
Yes. Good night.